Peace and harmony, my rosebuds. Welcome back to the channel. As you can hear, my voice is a little off, but it's okay. I've been yelling at my nephew's football game, and I can get real competitive. But anyways, make sure you like, share, subscribe. This video is going to be on recognizing and soothing your inner world, right? Because as women, we understand that we are emotional creatures. We understand that our emotions are everything, right? And if I'm gonna start talking a little slow to kind of so y'all can hear me, but I wanted to make this video because as I'm becoming the woman that I see myself to be in totality, in this new chapter of my life, I'm seeing my emotions differently. I'm seeing how to handle my emotions as a woman, as a grown woman, a woman with substance, a woman who got some sense, right? Because I feel like now in today's society, so many women just be doing stuff and they be letting their emotions make the decisions for them, when sometimes they need to be logic and reasoning, right? Excuse me. Yeah, it needs to be logic and reasoning sometimes. You know, we as women, we let our emotions make decisions for us. Even when it comes down to relationships, we be wanting in relationship good with good people. And I'm not even just talking about romantic, I'm talking about family, friends, you know, sisterhood. We let our emotions decide what to do instead of taking a moment to sit back and understand our emotions and why we feel that way and how to soothe our emotions so that we can make the best decision possible for the situation that we're in, right? So with that being said, excuse me, let me get some water right quick. Excuse me. Oh gosh, that was, oh God, thank you. Oh, that was so beautiful. But anyways, I'm sorry y'all, but I keep saying I'm sorry, my apologies, but this is something I want women to practice, because this is something that's been helping me as a woman overstand and understand my emotions, you know. And I'm gonna say understand a lot, because understand, we talk about our journey inward, and for us to be the women that we need to be, for us to be women of substance, of wisdom, of some sense, we have to deal with our emotions, our internal world. So this is what I've been doing to help understand my emotions, or understand my emotions, because I realize as women, when it comes to our emotions, we need to look at our inner child. And our inner child is, you know, our younger selves that still lives within us. And I realize how I see it is, it's all these different versions of me. So I don't know if y'all seen Inside Out 2, Inside Out and Inside Out 2, really good movies to help get a different perspective on your emotions and how they work. It's a really good movie. But how, you know how they had joy, sadness, they had anger, anxiety, all these different emotions within yourself. So how I used to look at my emotions, those different parts of me, as separately. So how I would go into my meditation, and whatever emotion would be there, I would kind of separate them from the rest of my emotions. So I would go into my meditation and I would be dealing with anger, because I used to be angry so much, and how anger would pop up in my mind during my meditation would be me in a room, and I would be like kind of just mad, just like kind of like I was a kid, like doing a temper tantrum, like this right here in the corner, and just, you know, that's how I see myself. And then I will go to another emotion like sadness, and I would see sadness would be in a pitch black room looking out this window that was like full of life. It was light, and it was just like sadness was just sitting there in a black hoodie, just wishing that she could be joy, you know, wishing that she could accept herself in the situations that garnered me to be in that position in the first place. And you know, as I started to do that over the months, over the years, I started to develop better relationships with myself and understanding those little mini relationships with myself as a woman. And I'm like, oh, okay, I see that I'm a little sad today. Let me go visit sadness, like the sad kid me, for a moment. Let me soothe that. And you know, whatever it is, if I'm in meditation and I'm with my sadness or whatever, and when I come out of it, whatever I feel that I need to do to give me that childlike experience, I'll go do it. Like, I used to paint a lot. That was one of my things that I used to deal with when it came to sadness. I used to paint a lot. I used to do things like artistically like that, and it would help me to soothe my sadness or my feelings or whatever. So now bringing it forward, and that was just to kind of give you like what I would think in the beginning stages of understanding my emotions, which I do that still from time to time, depending on how heavy the emotion is, because I'm able to sit with just that emotion. And again, this is all perspective. This is all in meditation and what I'm doing in visualization. So moving forward now, today, how I visualize in my meditation, because I was just doing it, is I will have like a family meeting with all my emotions. Like, we'll be sitting, how I visualize it in my meditation is we'll be sitting at this like kind of like this round couch, so to speak, and it's like me, my like higher self is sitting there with all of my emotions, all parts of me, my sadness, my anger, my happy, my joy, my anxiety, whatever it is, my nonchalant character. Like, we're all sitting at this table, and how I'm seeing it is, if I'm feeling the type of way, like maybe I'm feeling anger or whatever, like my higher self in that moment will allow, will kind of ask anger some questions, you know, that kind of brings forward the feeling of why I'm angry in the first place. And and I will allow anger to express herself, right? But when I used to self-talk to myself, like in moments like that, my higher self would be like, girl, if you don't calm down, like I would talk to myself crazy when it came to my emotions, and then wonder why I struggled expressing my emotions to other people, if that makes sense, right? So what I've been doing, because one of the things that I've been wanting to do and work better on as a woman is how I articulate myself, how I respond to people instead of reacting, no matter if certain emotions are triggered. So what I started doing was, if anger or sadness or whoever is getting like super amped up in how they feel, now I talk to my higher self in my meditation at this round couch. Now she acts as like the therapist, and she's kind of like, you know, kind of soothing me, like, instead of you feeling angry, why you just don't settle into it, you know? Or I respond to the anger in my meditation in more of a soothing and positive way. And once I come out of my meditation, I'm able to be at peace with myself because I self-soothed, I self-talk to myself, but I talk to myself in a way of positivity, in a way of logic when it comes to those situations. And you know, this might sound crazy and foreign to people who don't know what it is to really deal with your own emotions and take accountability. So it might be weird, and it might also sound crazy because I feel like a lot of my audience might not understand sometimes what I'm talking about, because I think about things differently, and I move differently too. So when it comes to like this video, you really have to have an open mind, a clear mind, and an open heart to understand what I'm saying. And when it comes to the way that we talk to ourselves as women is how we'll show up for others. And I realize the more that I tap into that type of meditative state, to where I'm taking accountability for my emotions and sitting down with myself. This is why meditation and silence and speaking to God is so important, because how I talk to myself and self-soothe myself in those moments will start to show when I'm talking to other people. Like usually, like, I ain't gonna lie, in my early stages of parenting, I used to be a misguided mom. Like, I used to be a mom that just didn't know nothing. I just let my angers take over the way that I was disciplining my child and the way that I interacted with my child. So, excuse me, fast forward to now where God is at the center of my life, and I'm around like-minded individuals. I'm around women constantly who are constantly stimulating my mind and making me accountable for my actions, for my parenting, which is something I just thank God for every single day. But you know, being around these women and having that type of support, I'm able to see where I can improve as a woman. And now that I'm getting just different guidance on parenting, even with just building my relationship with God, like sometimes, and when I was a misguided mom, sometimes when my daughter used to call on me because I was so frustrated with life and with all the stuff that was going on, I didn't have my life together, all that stuff, I would kind of take my frustrations out on how I responded to her. I was more so reacting and dismissive of her feelings. And you know, I would see her like get upset, cry, and I'm like, oh, why are you crying? Like, you know, I was misguided. Until now, where I'm guided by God, and through God and through the support system that God has given and provided to me, I'm able to, like, now when my daughter is asking me something, or she's wanting something, or even if she's emotional herself, and for whatever reason we think that kids don't have those moments, but right now when my daughter has those, you know, emotions, or just she's feeling some type of way about something, even if I did something and she came up to me, I'm now able to respond in a way that is positive, a way that allows her to be able to be comfortable enough to come talk to me. And it's not even just my daughter, but I'm using this as an example because I want people to kind of understand, you know, it's not even just my daughter, even response from my relationships with other people, like my friends, lovers, like even when conflict or just issues that may be triggering, I'm able to take time and a moment to myself and ask God to guide me with the right things to say. God, give me the strength to take and receive what they're giving back to me. You know, that's the kind of things that I pray about when I'm dealing with tough situations. And even just on a daily basis, those are the type of things that I'm praying about, that God helps me with, because I know those are areas that I need work in. And so that, with that being said, because I was able to understand my emotions as a woman, this is creating emotional intelligence. And this is a lot of things of this is something that a lot of women struggle with. You know, all emotional intelligence is to know when to use your emotions and how to articulate that during certain situations, you know? So with that being said, me sitting with myself and understanding my emotions and checking in with my emotions on a daily, and with the work and prayer of God in the mix, I'm able to articulate myself better as a woman. And that's what you want. You want to be a woman who can articulate herself well and with sense. Too many women are out here trying to move with their emotions, having their emotions to dictate the answers to trying to dictate the decisions that they are making with the people around them. Does that make sense? So if that makes sense, put some roses in the chat. And I really hope this video y'all are able to understand what I'm saying, because our emotions as women, we really gotta get together with that. Like, we gotta get that together. So I just wanted to share my take on you know, self-talk, positive self-talk, you know, allowing your emotions to come up. But instead of like dismissing her, like, girls, like, be quiet, like, all that sadness, all that, like, because that's literally how I used to talk to myself when, like, I would have like certain emotions come up, like, girl, shut up, like, it's not time to be crying. Like, that's how I used to self-talk to myself. But then I was like, I remember I was doing something one day, and I can't remember what emotion it was, but I was just like, all right, girl, like, shut your ass. Like, that's what I was saying to myself. But then I caught myself one day, and I was like, why am I talking to myself like that? Like, why am I doing that? And then from that point forward, I started talking to myself with kindness, and was trying to figure out how I can cultivate a different bond within myself. And so with that being said, I'm hoping this video aligns with you and you're able to understand. If you need me to break down something and go more into depth with it, please let me know. I do not have a problem breaking down anything that I said. Like I said, I don't know all things, but I can try my best to break it down the best way that I know how. So with that being said, let me know in the comment section what's your thoughts, your interpretation. I would love to know your thoughts on self-talk, handling your emotions, having that emotional intelligence. How do you have conversations with yourself when you're feeling, when your emotions are just sky high? Like, how do you deal with it? What are some of your tactics, so to speak? So yeah, and if this resonated completely, please put a rose in the comment section, family. So with that being said, I'm done. I'm out. Peace.